Hello, everybody. Welcome. Hi. Welcome to GODMAKER. Episode 6. I think. 6? Yeah, probably. My name's Lars Castine. You can probably tell by the tone of my voice that I have a cold. I hope you all out there today have a cold as well. Hope you're feeling good. Hope you're having a good time. I'm joined, Lars Castine. I said my name. Hi. I'm joined, as always, but this time by Armat Humphreys. Hi, Armat.
Hey. Glad to be back, Lars.
Glad to have you back. Zoe Chernikoff is here as well.
Hello.
And David, the Tin Man Chernikoff, is here also. Hi, David.
Good this time, Lars.
Good this time. Yeah, if you're watching this live, you're here at this time. Congratulations to you for tuning in. Let me tell you what this show is. Okay, you know all of us. We're all cast members on the world-acclaimed, most popular podcast in the world, Tabletop Gold. It's an actual play podcast where we play Pathfinder Second Edition. We have a great time. Our podcast is totally awesome, and you should listen to it if you haven't. Like, come on.
No.
But we, in addition to doing that podcast, also do this live stream. We've been doing it for a little while, just because it's fun, just because we have a good time jumping onto Twitch and saying hello to everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody. Called GODMAKER. And if you've listened to our main podcast, you know that what we do is every week we tell the story of the Abomination Vaults, the Pathfinder Second Edition adventure path. It's a dramatic show with thrill, spills, and chills, high stakes combat, and all of that other kind of stuff you can expect from a top level tabletop role playing game play podcast.
From the best podcast in the world.
Right.
Yeah.
What is that thing that Kiss used to say? Like, you wanted the best. Do you know what I'm talking about? Van Kiss. Their like slogan for a while, like before they came out, they had like a voice pop out over the loudspeaker being like, you wanted the best, you're getting the best. It's Kiss.
Nice.
And then it's like you listen to their music and you're like, this is not the best. This band is terrible.
But they probably got like 30 seconds more of people believing they were the best as a result, right?
That's right. I mean, nothing if not salesmen over there at Kiss.
I think that's what you want to hear, like, no matter who's about to come on. It's like, that's the place that you're in when the headliner is about to come out. You just want that reinforced. No, no matter how enthusiastic or reluctant, it's like, that's what the vibe should be.
I agree. And that's the vibe that we're aiming for today and every other day here on the show.
You wanted the best.
This show, you wanted the best, and now you're getting this. But what you're about to hear and watch and hang out with us while we're doing is our show GODMAKER, which captures the other side of tabletop role-playing games. The freeform, creative, just coming up with ideas, having fun, and hanging out kind of side of tabletop role-playing games. That is homebrew. We, on this series, are homebrewing a pantheon, and every episode we homebrew a new god. That's the pitch of the show, and we're gonna have a great time tonight. I'm looking forward. This is the first time we've had this mix of contestants here on GODMAKER. So I'm thrilled.
Contestants. Now I feel like we're pitted against each other in a way I hadn't previously understood.
That's the secret.
It's very much on like Donkey Kong.
Yeah. May the best,
GODMAKER win.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Count on it.
Count on it. So let's do it. Let's get into
Jehovah. Oh, damn it. That's already exists.
Oh.
Was a good thought, though.
Yeah. It's the GODMAKER questionnaire. Yeah. Here's how this show works. We fill out this questionnaire, and at the end of it, we have a god. Along the way, we will learn what this god is the god of. We will learn what this god's special powers are or whatever. And we will get a picture of the god, and we will place them in the pantheon. I've got this new window to show you that we have never featured before that shows the pantheon of gods here live in front of your very eyes, as you can see all of the other gods that we have created over the course of this series. And you can see some notes about the connections that they have between each other. It's really exciting. This is going to be a great time. I'm really looking forward to it. This show is like always a blast. I always have the best time doing it, and I'm super pumped to be doing it here today with and for all of you. Right?
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Well, that's been our show. See you later.
Good
Thank
night,
you for coming.
Cleveland.
Told you it would be quick. Okay.
You can kiss.
Let's do it. Let's fill out the GODMAKER questionnaire. David, before we met up today, so we roll a d8 to figure out what it is that we're doing the god of. You said that if we have a gap, which of course we do, that you had an idea as to what it was that we should be doing the god of.
Yes. And then I saw all of the stuff that is here, and so I had an idea for it, and it's kind of close to this one. So I'm gonna go back to my god ideas.
Your Pinterest
list.
board.
Yes, which is absolutely a fully fledged Pinterest board and not an email draft to myself with a bulleted list. So I'm gonna throw out there let's see, which of these am I most into right now? Okay, we will add to the list the god of meaninglessness.
Oh, interesting.
Cool.
And I wrote more than just that, but I don't want to get into that unless we actually roll the deuce and need to build him or her out.
All right. Well, so far you have a perfect record of introducing ideas and then having them hit. So
and then immediately lying about what number I've rolled. That's right.
Weird.
Glitterhearth.
So who wants to roll the famous GODMAKER die?
Sounds like we shouldn't let David do it.
I did. I proposed number 4 and hit my 4 spot immediately last time.
I can do it.
Okay, so let's get the roll from Zoe.
6.
6. The god of dysfunction and entropy.
That'll be fun.
That'll be a good time. Okay, guys. We're gonna have fun tonight. Gosh,
this is gonna be a fun one.
My heart just sank. I was like, "Oh, we're gonna do this one? God damn it!" Okay, this was my
That's
idea
how he
too.
wants you to feel.
Yeah, I feel their tendrils creeping their way into my.
It sort of feels like we shouldn't actually fill out the form, right?
Yeah.
We should just do a bunch of stuff.
We should probably do a bunch of stuff or do nothing.
Good night.
Okay, god of dysfunction. Yep, that's
We've
right.
been kissed.
God of dysfunction and entropy. What do we do? How do we do it? What's the idea here? What sort of person is this god of dysfunction and entropy? Are they themselves a dysfunctioning and entropy-laden person?
I feel like this is either multiple entities or has multiple heads. Like it can talk. It like, you know, it's like conjoined triplets, or it has 3 heads that can speak at different times.
And they're giving you mixed message. They're giving you conflicting.
Sure.
I was going to say they all are like arguing amongst themselves.
Adherents to this god never are 100% sure if they're actually doing what they're supposed to be, because they're constantly getting
and even when they are, they're
messages.
probably punished, right?
Yeah.
That's so good. Maybe they're like a hydra of some sort. They're
yes.
Okay, here's maybe a dumb idea. What if they're this is so stupid.
There's no
this has
such
nothing
thing.
to do.
Yeah.
What if they're
Only
a
dumb
hydra?
questions.
What if they're a hydra where every head is a mirror? So they just show you reflected back at you from a bunch of different angles, and like it's just like a 1,000-headed mirror-faced hydra.
But maybe they're like funhouse mirrors. Like they aren't. So you're getting weird.
I love
warped.
that. Yeah.
Could it be like that they're shaped like different animals, but that they're so big or something that when you look at them, they look like funhouse mirrors?
Yeah, that was where I thought you were going, Lars. Was it's a hydra, but every
like
head is a different animal.
Yeah. I think that makes a lot more sense. That to me feels like it's a little more in the spirit of the idea.
I like the mirror thing, though. I was sort of imagining like a dodecahedron or some like abstract shape, but I like just asterisk on the mirror idea. I think is cool.
No, asterisk noted for sure. The thing that I like about the sort of more like the bigger the like heads of different other things idea is that this is a god that would argue with itself.
Yeah.
Which it feels like that feels like more in the spirit of the prompt than the like just being like you talk to them and you're confused by them.
I also like the idea that the heads might shift, might change, there might be some shape shifting involved. You know, the head that started out as the bear.
Or the reports are never the same. I think to anyone who sees it, it seems consistent. So like I see a bear and an iguana and a kangaroo, but then Armad encounters it and he sees a lion. Like it's chimerical, sort of.
Yeah, I think it has to be chimerical and it has to be always getting worse. Because it's the god of entropy also. Like,
yes.
Yeah.
Like, this is a god that used to be a lot better than it is now.
Yeah, the god of entropy and dysfunction was cool like back in 2011, but now it's totally jumped the shark.
Okay.
So Lars's current kind of like a psycho-emotional state has him interpreting this to be a god of decline.
I think that's got to be what it is. This is a god of decline.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the god that yeah, absolutely. I think that's exactly what it is.
Like, what is the apotheosis of he's in decline? And I decided it was 3 Carrot Top heads, like at his ultimate stage.
Young Carrot Top, old Carrot
and made young again Carrot Top.
The ghost of prop comedy future.
R.I.P. Gallagher. Ghost of prop comedy past.
I sort of feel like it feels like there's a vibe to this of like the more people who follow this god, the less accurate each of them is going to be, and therefore I can't quite explain this, but there's like an accordion effect. It's like the more popular it is, the less fidelity each individual person has to whatever it wants. So then the population shrinks again. But then they're getting closer to it, and so then it expands,
right,
and then
it's like an accordion kind of thing.
Yeah, it's in a constant state of flux because the more people are trying, the less accuracy any one of them has, and so it dilutes their own.
People feel it can't be legitimate.
Yes. Yeah. The number of followers has to always be in flux and declining. As the more successful it is, the less successful it is.
Okay, got it. Perfect. I think I get it.
The shittier it is.
Super simple stuff.
Yeah. Okay. But it changes over time.
Yeah.
It changes over time. This is a god that is defined by change. It gets worse.
Yeah.
Right. It gets worse is what we're saying.
Just when you think you understand the way that it's bad, someone else encounters it and it's got worse.
It's even worse than what you thought it was.
It gets worse. Government campaign is really depressing, incidentally.
Yes.
Okay, what is this god's name? It seems like it would get... Okay. This, not to get political for a second, but aren't we ultimately describing the blockchain? Isn't that like kind of what we're doing here? Is it's a thing that gets bigger and bigger and more unwieldy as everybody gets access to this thing. It takes more time to deal with. Do you get what I'm saying?
NFT. God.
NFT.
I just looked up how you say blockchain in Gaelic for some reason.
Good. We always start with Gaelic.
Yeah.
Someone on Quora tells me you say it Buineach, Buinneach. I don't know if that's pronounced right, but maybe it goes by Bunny for short.
NFT Buineach.
This is my wife, NFT Buineach, but we just call her Bunny.
NFT. How do we combine these things? How do we make both of these ideas one?
Bueneftia? Iniac?
Beneftia?
But it could still be Bunny for short.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, that we get to keep for sure. It's necessary. Bunyeftia?
Yeah, I think that
Oh gosh. Sorry, guys. Spoilers. Don't look. Okay.
Sort of a Bueneftia effect there with all 4 of us.
Bunyeftia Eniac? Is that something?
Sure.
Was that
I think everyone argues about how to pronounce these. We were talking about this last time too, but yeah.
Okay, that's good. Buneftia Eniok. What's the nickname or log line? So this would be like Buneftia Eniok, comma, the something.
The great futility.
The great futility. Let's just brainstorm a couple things.
Little less sensical than that, like futiler yet.
Futiler yet.
The feudal system.
I'm really feeling decline, like the decliner, the declining, the declining,
the one in decline,
the declining one,
the declining one, the decliner,
the
perpetual decline,
the
great decline, the perpetual decline,
what do we like more, perpetual or great here?
Perpetual is too fancy. I kind of like great.
What about big? The big decline.
The big decline.
The endless decline.
Endless decline. Endless.
I like the endless decline.
I like the endless decline. That tells us exactly what we're doing here.
Yeah.
Can we also put Bunny there since that's its nickname?
Bunny the endless decline.
There we go.
Bunny the endless decline.
Now we're getting like a high school band going.
That's right.
Good evening.
A really bad one.
Decline.
They would definitely come in like sixth in Battle of the Bands with like 7 bands playing, and the 7th band was sick that day.
Bunny and the Endless Decline. Such a funny band name.
One time I went to see a band at the Mellow Mushroom in Charlottesville, Virginia.
Oh.
And it was a Weezer cover band fronted by a guy, I think his name was Jack Wisma, and the band was called Jack Wisman, and it was Wisma feature. I think it was Jack Wisman's Wisma playing the music of Weezer.
No.
Yeah, at the Mellow Mushroom at a pizza restaurant.
That's amazing.
They were great. They were really good. They played.
Beautiful.
If your question is, did they play Say It Ain't So? And my answer to that question is yes, they certainly did. That was the one song that they seemed to.
How
put
about
their
the sweater
heart into.
song? Did they do the sweater song?
They did, but
Yeah,
I don't
you
think they
gotta do the
understood.
sweater
That
song.
song is
No.
song's over.
Did someone come over the PA before they started and inform you that you were about to hear the best?
Yeah, they said you wanted the best,
and now you're getting the rest.
It was, but they were just calling out a pizza
tour
order
in Milwaukee, so
right. The best is busy. Okay, guys. So we're talking about Bunny the endless decline is our god here.
Yeah.
I like Bunny. Let's just talk for a second. I think we lucked into something here, or maybe we didn't. Zoe, maybe this is what you were driving towards the entire time. Bunnies reproduce endlessly. The idea of a god with heads that continually reproduce and make it worse and worse and worse all the time.
Also pests, like to farmers and the like.
Yes.
As the heads like evolve from like in reverse from great age to like childhood, and then pop and like a new head is formed that declines.
Yeah.
Each head devolves as right.
I feel like
so eventually
they age some in correct chronological order, so they become kind of like old and crotchety, and some back to babies. Like you get some Benjamin Button action, and so you get like a little screaming baby at you or whatever.
We get a little BB. I love it.
Little baby.
Lars, am I remembering right that the original prompt was dystopia and entropy?
No. Dysfunction, entropy, and decline. Yeah.
Dysfunction. Okay.
Dysfunction.
All right.
Yeah, I think that we're right on target, guys. I think that we're doing a great job.
It feels like it's embodying all of those.
I agree. And I'm having here's the thing. I say this every time. There's always a moment where I'm like, damn it, I love doing this show. And it happened, I think, earlier this time than it has ever happened before.
There you go.
We're at like minute 17, I think.
Yeah.
We should start graphing these.
Yeah,
Ooh.
we should.
Can I
yes, please,
advocate for another apostrophe in the bunny?
Oh, sure.
Oh, yes.
In the nickname too?
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Bunny.
Bunny. Okay.
Is there a full glottal stop? Bunny kind of thing? Am I pronouncing that right?
I think
I
this
think so.
Some people actually pause for 10, 15 seconds.
I mean, it's
God of entropy,
Bunny.
Bunny.
Bunny, the endless decline.
Praise it.
Okay. Does this god have any specific physical features, i.e., unusual number of limbs? We've already answered this question, right?
I feel like it's kind of silvery. I like this idea that it does reflect. So it I don't know if it's like actually metal or glass or appears.
I like
slimy.
that idea. A reflective hydra.
Yep.
A reflective hydra with a million idiotic heads.
Oh,
that's
maybe
great.
each of its scales is a mirror.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
And so you do get that thing of fragmented visuals of yourself and everything else.
It's
around
good.
you.
It reflects everything poorly.
I cannot wait to see what the AI is going to have to say about
Dolly
any
is
of this.
just itching to get
Yeah,
their
this
hands
is
on
what this was made to do. This you're like, oh, couldn't you just ask me to copy an anime picture from a starving artist, please? Okay. Given all of the above, how would you describe this god in one phrase or sentence? Okay. They are a mirror-scaled hydra. I don't think I need they are. I'm just going to say a mirror-scaled hydra with endless, with an incomprehensible number. Tell me if I'm off at any point. Of ever-changing heads of ever-changing
features, maybe?
Heads bickering among each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, nailed it.
Okay, good.
I feel like the only thing I would say on
worship this god.
Yeah, we'll get there. I have a theory on that.
Oh, good. Good.
Incomprehensible number. I feel like to different people, it's different. Like, so David might be like, it was 8, and I would be like, no, it's 3. Like, so a disputed and incomprehensible or something. Like, people have their own takes.
And I think we have to specify that they're animal heads.
Okay.
Because
I
otherwise,
think it can be people.
It can be, but if you don't, then you're going to get this creature heads. I don't know. Yeah. You're going to get an assumption that it's all.
Yeah.
Certainly the AI will spit us out a bunch of human heads. And I don't even want to look at that.
No.
It's like Beetlejuice in the film Beetlejuice.
Oh,
at the end with the horrible worm face.
Yes.
I love
really
that
gross.
movie. That's
and awesome.
that's like maybe a top 5 movie for me.
Oh,
like honestly.
I haven't seen that one in a long time. I should go back.
It's really good. The moment that it really clicked for me as an adult was when I realized it was all about real estate. And it's just about like how people from the city are buying up houses in the country and making them suck. It's great. What a movie. What are their relationships? Okay, Voltheros, the god, of course, as we all know, of local infrastructure and public transportation. I think that this is they are connected to each other. They must be.
But antagonistic.
But I think that, I was
Antagonistic.
going to say definitely antagonistic because like Bunny is undoing all that Voltheros tries to order, right?
What if Bunny, just hear me out for a second. What if Bunny is Voltheros' child and Voltheros had to give them a job? Like Voltheros.
I was going to say, I think there has to be a codependence. Like I think Voltheros wants or needs something from Bunny. So I like that.
Yeah, let's say they're in a codependent relationship. What is like a child parent relationship in popular culture or history or something like that where that captures what we're talking about here.
I'm getting the Italian thing with the kids who live with their parents for way too long now.
Well, I don't know what that is.
This is like a phenomenon in Italy where like especially young men I think are like this is like in the news like
hikikomori, like the Japanese NEETs, not in education training, like the shut-ins, like
you talking NEETs?
Yeah, and like I think the other term is hikikomori in Japanese, like the shut-ins who just like live in their parents' house and don't leave and like just watch anime all the time. And
I think this is a more extreme version of a similar thing.
Okay.
But yeah. But and I like the idea, Lars, because of like infrastructure and the city sort of inevitably begets this sort of dysfunction and entropy, right? Like you build a city with the best of intentions. So I like the parent, like
maybe they're a bastard child.
Wow. Yeah.
Not to get maybe that's not Maybe that's not a cool thing to say. The moment I said it, I was like, is that a phrase that we use today?
And listen, it can't be any less cool than sweeping generalizations about the Italians and Japanese. We just plowed right through those.
I was trying to, oh my goodness.
I think maybe, honestly, just like parent and child completely clicked for me. That the parent figure is like constantly trying to create all this order, and the child figure is resulting in its resetting to not such an orderly state. I don't want to like get too personal, but that resonates.
Sure, disappointing child of Voltheros. Good, we're good.
Well,
is that all right?
Well, it's very Voltheros-sided view of the situation, but
okay.
But I'm not prepared to quibble.
Okay, Raham, the god of dreams and consciousness. I don't think there's a huge relation here. Well, it seems tangential to me.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay. We don't need a million like, not all of these need to be a thing.
I think everyone should be tied into at least someone.
I think forcing them will degrade the overall pantheon, yes.
Fionn Glitterhearth, our god.
Maybe she's the mother? Because she has that manic, like, changing, excess quality.
She's always generating.
So
maybe estranged mother of...
Are they the ones who are fuck buddies?
No. Okay,
yeah.
So
aren't they?
Let's take this over to the chart. Okay, guys.
Okay.
Fionn Glitterheart
Raham
has a professional, spelled wrong, working relationship with Voltheros.
Professional, not so professional.
Okay.
Yeah, she contributes her light to the tunnels of mass transit systems, but she's fucking the mushroom god. Right?
Yeah.
That picture, by the way, is something.
Isn't this something?
It's so cool.
It really worked out well. That was quite an episode.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Okay, maybe they had a kid anyway. Yeah, what's up?
I guess I assume the strongest connection here would be to the dirt god.
How about like kindly auntie? For whatever reason, Fionn is sort of like not the mother, but like she's constantly trying to like. She figures if she just does the right thing, like she'll fix Bunny, even though
just
that's
like a
clearly
godmother?
preposterous. Yeah, godmother. There you go.
Okay, I like that. Let's go with that. That godmothers are incredibly easy to do in term, like, without making the genealogy of this pantheon even more incomprehensible. So, oh gosh.
Unlike the Greek pantheon, wherein the genealogy makes perfect sense.
Yeah, that one's quite a flowchart.
Yeah.
You need 3 dimensions to keep track of that family tree.
Graced, the worm of the harvest worm. I think we got no big connection there, probably, right?
Yeah, I guess maybe I misunderstood. I don't know. Dirt. It seems like when entropy happens, things return to the dirt. But it's less of a dirt thing and more of a agriculture thing.
I think Graced is more of like an older, orderly. Like he's tied to the rhythms of the earth, whereas Bunny is like
cosmic
more
dysfunction.
Modern dysfunction. Yeah.
Sure.
I think they don't really like each other that much, though.
Yeah, exactly. I think like Greist is maybe worried that Bunny's like his supporters may go over to be Bunny's support. Like that's not reasonable and it doesn't happen, but like there's some competitiveness.
Yep, makes sense. I agree. And then we have Einsamosk, the god that I made up last week all by myself, the god of solitude, loneliness, and purpose.
I feel like they would be friends.
You think so?
Well,
I kind of don't think so. Purpose, I feel like Einsamosk is like, I feel like they're polar opposites of each other. That Einsamosk is about singularity of intent, drive, like really pushing yourself to be a total maniac. Versus like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. That's how I
get schoolmates. Like, obviously, whatever God school was is a ridiculous idea. But like, they were in class together and they were always in like the top. I mean, not top few because the god of entropy would not be a good student, right? But
so like anime rivals, like, oh, you pushed yourself so hard.
Yeah, that's good. That's
or like
good.
buddy cop lab partners.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Sure,
I'd watch that movie.
I would watch that movie. with the microscopic mosquito and a mirror-faced, like a mirror-scaled hydra.
And I feel like Einsamosk has like negative, well-thought plans. I don't know how evil you made Einsamosk, but I'm guessing relatively capable of bad things. And then Bunny shows up and like mucks them up.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. Yes. That's that. Armad, is that what you're thinking of? Is that the yum that I yucked of yours? Was that yum?
Just not really. I mean,
all right.
If we're staying away from them. Sorry, I'm a little out of it.
You're out of it just because we're talking about a microscopic mosquito with a star hanging from its nose versus a million-headed hydra. Okay,
it's a lot to keep track of.
Yeah, Bunny ruins everything. That their followers.
That's right. It's getting to us.
Okay, good.
Right, our own minds.
The further we get through defining it, the harder time we're having. It's
a Bunny moment there myself. Entropy and dysfunction reared its head.
Over.
Okay, so we need to come up with a myth of something that Bunny did that relates to people and the world and so on. And I think this should be pretty easy to do. How about this? An emperor started building the grandest.
Yes, this was exactly what I was thinking. A sort of Tower of Babel-y kind of thing. And as you know, the people who were originally working together in an organized fashion each began, I don't know what, were visited by this thing that appeared to them each in a different form gave them each conflicting.
Yes.
It was posing as the architect or whatever, and said one thing, and each person heard something completely different, and so they all felt like they were following specifications exactly, and instead built something that like the parts didn't fit together, and it crumbled, and nobody could.
I like the.
What if it turned into a mega dungeon? Like
it could turn into a mega dungeon, and it could also turn into the greatest holy site of this church.
And it's just a mess. It's just like ruins and relics.
I think it's actually potentially dangerous, right?
Yes,
but
totally.
The worshippers think the higher up you go, like the more devout you are. And so there becomes this like challenge within the worshippers to continue up the tower, even though it's
further into this, even
though it's like actively dangerous to you.
Yeah,
totally. Yeah, and like monsters take up residence in strange parts, and like.
Right, you go
maybe
in
there
and
are passages to other parts of reality, or like failing worlds or dimensions that are constantly collapsing and reopening.
And you go in and you go too far and you get trapped and stuck, and you just become another facet of this chaotic, ever evolving like hellscape.
Hell yeah! Oh, I love that.
Well, and I think some of it, like some of the wings, are actively filled with monsters and dimensions and doom, and then there's just like whole hallways that just kind of smell like poop, and there's nothing, like they're really boring.
Right.
But like you're never quite sure which one you're getting.
If you're going looking for adventure, you certainly will not find it there.
It's
change? So boring if that's what you're looking for.
Does it change shape and like as you're in it? Like is it ever shifting or like the people who are in it are also constantly doing stuff? Like it's unmappable. Because it's being acted upon by so many people all at once, each according to what they believe to be the correct, but it's completely different design. You can't get out of it once you're too far into it because it's changing. You can't retrace your steps.
What if the people who were trying to build it are still stuck building it?
Absolutely.
And just like
generations of people, the ancestors of the original builders are still building it to this day.
There's a cult, right? There's a cult of people living in it and like self-perpetuating and just continuing to deepen
maybe it's built in a spiral, like the like a spiral like almost like a nautilus shell, but like rising up towards the heavens, but like it keeps
it definitely goes up in my
falling.
mind.
I like that idea that it goes up. It has to go up.
And I also think there's some problems where like it's the ancestors, but they're they're definitely like promised payment and salary that doesn't ever really manifest, and so they're going on strike all the time. Like there's some banal shit happening, right? Like so like the tower doesn't get built for 6 months because like people are just sitting around waiting for their paychecks.
And also like different factions within their worshippers are constantly differently interpreting the will.
Exactly.
And
yeah. Or the like there's conflicting information about what the blueprints are to build this thing, right?
Yeah, everybody's convinced they know exactly what to do and nobody else does, and none of them has any more basis for anything, any of their ideas than anybody else.
Because they all were approached by a god and given divine direction. This is the way it must be. But the god came and told everybody else
each person different things. Yeah.
So here's what I love about this. One, this is obviously the best thing that's ever happened, and this is incredible. But two, I had a question up until now of like, why is this divine? Why is this a god? Like, what power could this possibly have? And I feel like we just answered this. The dysfunction of this god is able to transcend all sense and reason and come up with something infinitely decaying, but also infinitely confounding and able to trap people within its this is the most horrifying thing I've ever heard in my life.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's terrifying.
It's like a Dada nightmare.
I want to make a pitch that this what we are describing as this sort of like initial shrine kind of / now colony thing. I want to yuck any yums about it's being a tower. Like in my head, any sort of tower would immediately collapse and end up back on the ground. But like, okay,
but
maybe it's going up. I just want to make a pitch that it is always going out, and that its expansion outwards menaces more and more people as it grows.
I don't see why it couldn't
I think
be
both can be true. I think both can be true.
It could be. Like maybe, whether or not it's going up, it has got to be like metastasizing outward. And people who have nothing to do and want nothing to do with this god or this phenomenon are gradually being menaced and transgressed as it like it's like the blob, and it like is gathering more people and getting wider.
Well,
as a tower gets taller, its base would naturally have to expand. So maybe that's part of it too.
Right. So it's like a heap.
It's just always growing but also somehow always falling apart.
Colloquially called the heap.
I think this divides the two main, like there are many different factions within the groups of builders and residents trying to like complete the tower per Bunny's wishes, which they never can do. But the like fundamental divide is the uppers versus the outers. Like some people believe that this temple will reach its full apotheosis state of being when it goes up, and some people believe it's when it goes out. And so they're never getting anywhere.
Right. So early on there was a schism, and
expansionists and
elevationists.
Oh, yeah. I love it. Perfect.
Could we maybe call the adherents, if this thing is colloquially called the heap, are the people who are stuck within it and creating it, are they
heapites?
Heapers?
Heapers?
I like heapers.
Heaper creepers?
Heapers. Parentheses, aka heaper creepers. So here's my take on this. Ultimately, they're all correct because this is the god of entropy. This world will eventually be entirely taken over by this. Like this is the ultimate endpoint of this whole world.
Yes,
is that at the end of time, the entire planet, and then beyond that will be the heap.
But they never reach that sort of self-fulfillment realization that they're correct by all being incorrect. Like no, they just fight about it, right? Like
yes, it's a sectarian conflict.
Yeah,
there's something delightful about like there's just the one mechanism at the heart of all of this is just like basically relativism. Like each person being given a different and interpreting their divine thing and its own, and that just resulting in complete. You can imagine one of these people arguing with one of the adherents to the solitude and purpose. God, like they all are like exactly. That's exactly what I'm doing. I have my singular purpose, and the fact that their singular purpose is causing basically like a natural disaster to form completely lost on them.
That's why I thought they'd get along, because dysfunction is like in communication is essentially isolating. Like this is the Tower of Babel is about separating people out into isolated groups.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like they have to have that, like, sometimes they're teammates, but sometimes they're against each other vibe. I don't know.
Yeah. I think they're frenemies.
Nothing would, yes, exactly. Nothing would drive you more nuts than someone who's convinced that they're exactly the same as you, but you understand them to be the exact opposite. I also
think it's probably maddening because Bunny has ultimately been more successful than Einsamosk, right? Like Einsamosk is the better planner and the smarter god, but Bunny, by virtue of what Bunny is trying to accomplish, is winning.
And more powerful.
Well, Bunny has a goal for sure. Einsamosk is like purely like masturbatory. It's just like, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be by myself for a long time, and I'm going to get power from it.
I'm going to have to sit and watch that episode at some point. If you
I think you'll like it. It goes to some places.
I would say that we should watch it together, but I think we have to watch it separately.
Yeah, you have to watch it on your own.
Yeah, it is a requirement.
Okay, I think we got to start moving now into the old picture section. Let's see what the computer is able to make of this nonsense that we're coming up with. I've thrown us over to chat if anyone wants to chat with us. Astro Hatu, good to see you. Markov Chainmail, good to see you as well. I'm now entering the what am I doing in a broad sense? I'm typing the connection.
Yeah, that's entropy right there. You don't
that's not good. Okay, I've got the description that I got from our deal, and I'm asking this to be painted by Raphael, because of course Raphael is the house artist of Tabletop Gold, as we've established.
I think we went Hieronymus Bosch with Greist because we couldn't get quite dark and weird enough, but let's see what happens.
That's true. I think that we wound up in Bosch without meaning to. I feel like this is about as good as this is gonna get. Like
the coloring on 2 is the best for me, but I don't know if the image is the best. I like the silver, right? We want the like kind of gleamy.
The reflective surfaces feel.
Let me change the word scaled to skin and see how that is looking.
I think we got to specify that we don't want all the heads to be snakes. If we just say Hydra, we're just gonna get.
Okay. So I think I need to get rid of ever changing. I think that's confusing for it. So this is what we got now. It took us further away from where we wanted to go. With an ever shifting,
more snaky.
So I'm going to simplify this slightly. With the heads of many different
animals. Mutating?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Let's see what we got. I'm simplifying. I'm taking elements of it out just to try to get a visual representation.
Sure.
We could also try like silvery if we need to.
Yeah.
Or I guess you can just change color.
Okay. So this we're getting like further away.
Shimmering. Is it? Well, yeah. The one on the left has a nice kind of lion head, and then the rest get pretty.
I like the one on the right, though. I like the more chaotic. Right. The feel of all those tangled.
Yeah.
I like the
I'm trying to get multiple different kinds of heads.
Though, just visually.
Yeah, me too. I like the shape of that one.
Tough stuff.
Because it's kind of the spiraling tower shape we were describing in some ways.
Ooh, I like that.
Thicket. Bramble.
Oh, I think we got something kind of okay here. There's still snake heads, but we're silvery. Mm-hmm. I think that we may not be able to get off of snakes, sadly. This is a nightmare. This is so awful.
Actually,
what is this horrible thing?
Yeah, what is going on with number 2? It has like The hair of Merida and Brave.
I'm kind of into 2, I have to say.
2 is the closest to, like, there's different colors, there's different thicknesses, there's different heads, there's no
Is one of those an
symmetry
axolotl?
to it. It does look that way.
Are we just going to push forward to this?
Let's go with that one.
I feel good.
I feel good about it too.
I don't think it would be that well done of an insignia of this thing, if that makes sense.
It does make sense.
Plus, everyone who draws it would draw something else.
Yeah.
Like, every statue of it would look different.
This is horrible.
Maybe that's part of
so
its
scary.
worship is
It
everyone
really is
has to
scary.
construct their own shrine. Like every worshiper's.
Well, they have to construct the one true version and then fight about it when it's different from everyone else's.
Right.
The shrines often get smashed.
These
Between
constantly being
worshippers.
destroyed and
followers
remade. Yeah.
must fight constantly. Like, they're all trying to. They're all on the same team, and they're also all trying to convert each other.
I think
all the
we'll get to this later. I think you get some cult leader types in there who are trying to harness the crazy of the followers, pretending to be followers. Like, I think you get some chaotic evil folks who come in as bunny worshippers and start corralling certain of the factions.
I mean,
being
it feels,
bunny wills it so,
chilling.
It feels to me as though the thing that we're saying about Einsamosk, where sometimes people think they're worshiping Einsamosk and they wind up worshiping Bunny instead. I feel like that's the case for any god. I think anybody who's worshiping a god could see one of Bunny's faces instead, and could start worshiping Bunny by mistake.
Yeah,
that is such a fascinating. Right, this god can appear as anything, and that could include other gods. Like, you can think that it poses as other gods and steals their followers.
This is genuinely the worst thing we've ever come up with.
It's so scary.
It's sort of a takedown of organized religion. Does that make sense?
It's sort of,
it's sort of a takedown of conviction of any kind. Like, it's making me want, am I doing this? Am I doing this now?
Are you worshiping Bunny? Is Bunny in the room with us? What's this god's holy symbol? Is it just like a collapsing tower?
I was thinking of a spiral.
A spiral?
Yeah. I was thinking of a scribble. Like a spiral so organized. It's so deliberate. It's so it's also kind of mesmerizing and
I can a spiral get there. Doesn't fit, I think. You're right.
It just,
but entropy
maybe it's a mirrored, it's a scale shape. So almost like a shield, but you realize it's a scale, and on that is a hastily hand-drawn spiral.
Okay.
I don't know, I'm just coming up with stuff. I don't know.
Reflective. But the idea of a reflective. Well, I feel like one thing that we're talking about is something being multifaceted.
Yeah.
So maybe it's like a mirror ball. Maybe it's like a
disco ball.
A disco ball. Just a thought. Just a thought. First thought, best thought. Maybe it's a disco ball.
Yeah, it's a spiral. It's a spiral. It's a disco spot. It's a disco spiral. It's a spiral ball.
Okay, I'm just gonna type these
the
words.
Ruined tower. Actually, I don't. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it could be.
This is not going to get us anywhere, but I've just asked Dolly to give us a stained glass window depicting a spiral disco ball. We're going to see what that looks like.
Oh, wow.
Cool. It sucks. It's not interesting.
It's way too happy. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I mean, it's not wrong, but
I think that we're running into a fundamental problem here.
What if it's two spirals, one going out to represent the expanders,
right,
and one going up, but they're sort of again, hand drawn, like we were talking about with Graced, how it's sort of like a cave drawing style. It's not that, but I feel like there's a pen and ink or charcoal or something about it that's messy.
Yeah. Messiness seems like it needs to be part of what we're doing.
Could we potentially ask Dolly to give us a religious symbol
for a god of
dysfunction and just see what it does?
Let's do that. Hey, what are the outward? I just am trying to make my notes work better here. The outward people are called expanders. What are the up people?
Elevationists.
Elevationists. Yeah.
David came up with. Yeah.
Okay.
I love
elevators. and escalators.
Okay, so we're looking. I'm just asking. I'm asking Dolly to say a religious symbol for a god of dysfunction and entropy. It turns out entropy. I'm glad that we came up with something both funny and awful. I feel very good about that.
Yeah, the heap is awesome.
This is probably a problem. What? This is Dolly. What are you doing?
3.
Sure. Yeah.
Because it's like it starts at order, and as you get further out from the center, it becomes less.
I'm fine with it. I feel like one of the cult leaders who's been like among the biggest sort of missionaries for Bunny drew that at some point and declares that it is the symbol of Bunny, and no one else believes it. But
I kind of
like
feel
a
as
large
though,
faction uses that.
Yeah, it seems like there would not be an accord about what the holy symbol is.
I agree.
Okay, let's move on. Let's move it on up.
That one makes sense because it's very easy to draw.
Okay, so here we are. We're ready to go now to the next part of the thing, and that is the follower section. We got to start moving. We're almost out of time, guys. The what sorts of locales typically house this god's followers? Cities? Yes, definitely, right?
I think it can be anywhere.
I think it can be anywhere too.
And we've come up with this one very particular environment that's like the epicenter of it.
Yeah,
okay.
Totally.
So cities, countryside, and within the heap.
Maybe it's like they have to make a pilgrimage at one point.
And then they never get to leave.
And then they never leave.
Yeah.
Right.
Welcome
or
to
they
the
never get there.
California.
Check out every time. Right. Some of them believe the heap is wherever you heap.
There's a lot of disagreement about where the heap is.
Bless.
Well, some people I think in their hometown start to build, like if you can't get there,
right.
you make a small heap in your own town.
And
which
I imagine
eventually,
the
of
cops
course,
are
will
like,
be conjoined.
cut that out immediately.
Yeah.
Like, you are not building a heap here.
Yeah.
Stop.
The temples to this thing are just like anywhere where you pile stuff.
Well, it starts small, right? And then it, I mean, there's the main heap, but some people will also go to the heap and steal a piece of it and bring it back to their village to start their own heap.
There's near my house.
Lots.
Yeah, near my house there's like a highway overpass, and right next to the highway overpass there are just 2 shipping containers, like big, things from rail cars just sitting on top of each other.
There you go.
I feel like that's
That's how it begins.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, anywhere that's gone to, I mean, you could say wilderness, but I feel like wilderness
abandoned places.
Yeah, it's almost things that were at one point built environments, but have just kind of gone to seed, and they're all ruined, messed up. Like,
yeah. I don't think it's ever like just trees and dirt. Like there's always a human component.
It has to have some abandoned attempt to it.
Well.
Abandoned places, yeah.
How are you feeling?
Is there always a human component though?
Okay.
Entropy is just like the tendency of like thermodynamics to reduce down to like nothingness.
But I think otherwise the god doesn't know that because it is the god is seeking humans to like serve it. There has to be a human component as like part of the. I don't know.
I feel like you could
see.
I think any social creature, like you could, like imagine you're an archaeologist or something like that, and you see that the ants in this region have started worshiping Bunny. That the ant farms have started getting all fucked up and like going off in crazy directions.
Well, then there'd have to be an ant element, right?
A social component.
I think it's the dysfunction thing is the key.
There needs to be a function that can dysfunction.
Exactly. It's not just pure entropy. It's that there's in theory some industry or endeavor that's being like corrupted and corroded.
Yeah.
Love that. Yeah, totally. That makes sense to me.
This is the worst.
It's like quantum mechanics. Like there has to be a
just awful
perception. in order
This
for it
is
to
so
function.
American.
Okay. What sorts of professions might this god's followers have? So I think we've sort of established that like
doesn't
anyone can be co-opted.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Totally.
It feels more like it's a state of mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you lived here, you'd be home.
People tend not to choose to worship Bunny. Maybe.
Right? They're kind of like visited.
It just kind of happens.
Most people. I think the evil people sometimes fall into it on purpose, but
and then you have like troublemakers.
Right, it attracts a certain kind of schemer.
Yeah.
Would the Joker? No, probably not. Okay. Do this god's followers typically wear any sorts of clothing to show their devotion? Yeah, probably. What do they wear? They probably wear like insanely fragile
Or deteriorating.
I think lots of them wear necklaces or like pocket chains with what they claim to be a mirrored scale from Bunny, but it's usually just a fake piece of mirror that they took from their homes or smashed. But people squabble about whether it's a legitimate scale or not.
Yeah, I feel like this holy symbol, I really feel like we want to go with a mirrored scale. Can we lose this abstract?
Or a fragment of a mirror.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, yeah. Like a broken...
Like I just kind of want to swap this out. I feel like
scale,
this thing that we came up with means nothing and is irritating.
Well, therefore seems correct, right?
I know. But we should... Look, we have to get this perfect, okay,
no,
guys?
Lars, we're all going to get it tattooed.
What about a cracked mirror?
Yeah, let me see. I'm right now processing a fragment of a mirror. Let me get a cracked mirror after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's something that could be shown in a stained glass window. Or maybe it would just be a broken stained glass window.
Anything broken will do, really.
Yeah.
Fine.
Man,
maybe that's
taking too long.
Initiate's knowledge is like eventually you learn that anything broken is a site of Bunny.
Yes. Boony is with us.
Is Boony in the room with us now? Okay, let's keep moving while I'm waiting for that nonsense to finish up. Do this god's followers practice any sort of ritual ranging from the mundane to the absurd? Like, I think that, like, probably, yeah. Like, they engage in, like, impossible building projects.
I think the building of the heap, however they interpret that, is like...
Yeah.
Heaping.
That's right. I'm imagining all the snarky newspaper headlines in this world about the heapers that are, like heaping pile of shit comes to town or whatever. I mean, it wouldn't be that because it's a newspaper, but I feel like there'd be all this newspaper
seems profane
snark.
for a headline.
I feel as though calling somebody a heaper is just a horrible insult.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I would imagine that these people would be loathed and feared, especially because anyone could become one of them and they would be driven out of places once the corruption of Bunny starts in one's head.
Yeah.
How do we feel about this new holy symbol?
It's hard to see. Is it like an actual mirror in a home?
Yeah, it's just.
Is it like
big.
the side mirror of a car?
Yeah,
that's right.
I was thinking
that's
too.
what it is. The side mirror of a car.
Just zoom in. Just zoom in so we can't see the frame.
I like 2 better.
Okay, let's do it. Let's make it happen. Good enough. Something that I don't know. Maybe that's I guess we're getting to aphorisms. Is that's good enough? Something that the followers of this god would say? Probably not.
No.
I think the sentiment of any given one of these people would be the conviction that the specific thing that they're doing is like necessary and right, even though everybody else will respect. Yeah, it's sort of like
maybe
I was just gonna say Boony shows us the way. That this is the way is
the temple must rise and fall.
The temple must rise.
Well, it seems like it would either be the
Onward
temple
and
must,
upward.
the temple must,
but it has to exist in order
outwards.
to fall. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Bunny is both. There has, like you were saying about there has to be an endeavor. There has to be something in order for Bunny to exist. If there was nothing, then there would be no Bunny because there would be nothing for it to end.
So great. They're all always building stuff as offerings to Bunny so that Bunny can
let it deteriorate.
Yeah, it's like undo it.
But I think many of them take that as a sign of displeasure and that they just didn't like. I think many of these folks don't quite get the thing that we all get, right? Like, I think they take Bunny knocking it down as a sign of failure, whereas for Bunny it is success, right?
Right.
Well, I think I like the idea of various different interpretations are
For
constantly like everyone has their own schism of Bunny worship.
Oh yeah, and yeah,
totally makes sense.
Bunny,
one thing I like,
Bunny commands it. Like I don't. Bunny commands me. Bunny. Yeah.
It will end
because Bunny said so.
Bunny speaks truth.
That's the bottom line because Bunny said so. One thing I like about This Is the Way is that Voltheros' name is the Way, so like that must be absolutely infuriating for Voltheros worshippers. Okay.
Yeah, and as god of infrastructure, wouldn't the heap be like a blasphemous mockery of
They hate each other. These are polar opposites of each other. Okay, let's move on. To sum this all up, what are this god's 3 areas of concern? We've already done this. This is dysfunction. What was it?
Decay.
What do we have here? Dysfunction, entropy, and decline. I think that's right. I think that's still good, right?
Yeah, I think like metastasization.
Yeah,
if that's like
fragmentation and over.
Yeah. Be a thesaurus here.
Okay, are you ready to do some gameplay mechanics? This always goes faster than you think it will. What are the gods' edicts? What must their followers strive to do?
Maybe build things and abandon them. So
maybe
that.
I think it's follow the will of Bunny. I don't think I don't know. Yeah.
I wonder if there could be a curse type mechanism where, like, if you're a follower of this thing, you somehow or other, through several worlds. Like, I'm thinking, Lars, of the Otari Memorial 500 thing, where there's sort of like a giant table of stuff, and you do a bunch of rolls, and you end up with this like fairly custom seeming like condition or curse, like thing that you're trying to do, but that's going to be like really different than any other adherent to the same faith. Like,
hold on a second. Maybe let me try to put a different way. Let me try to simplify this.
Yeah,
it's point out the faults of all other Bunny followers. Right? It's like you're coming up with something different, and you have to point out this is how things are different.
Yeah.
Like make sure no common ground can be met.
Or like, help. But I think they see it all as part of 2, right? Which is like helping reveal Bunny's righteous path. It's just that Bunny tells everyone different shit. So then you go different.
I mean, you could not have a player character. It would just be like,
no, this is a terrible. This is an evil.
This is
an evil god that we're talking about here.
It'd be fun.
It would be very fun. What's anathema to this god? What must their followers strive to never do? Cooperate?
Stop.
Meat and things?
Rest.
Stop it.
Clean.
Rest. Clean.
Chill out.
Seek accord.
Be
like
cool
you don't
about
ever
stuff.
you don't ever want to have like a civil meeting, right? And try to like come to an agreement.
Right. Let
compromise.
Reach an accord.
Yeah.
Tear down things that are well established, maybe.
I
like
think
iconoclastic impulses, like destroy.
Right, so they wouldn't respect norms or precedents or
right, because everything must fall apart.
Right. I got it.
Conform.
Yes, conform. Yes. Okay, what's this guy's alignment? Neutral chaotic, is that a thing?
Yeah.
Chaos.
I think any Chaotic
non-lawful,
good.
non-good.
I think anything lawful feels like it
Not
would-
okay.
Yeah,
Right,
lawful good. But again, I think you get some lawful evil cult leaders.
Right, but they're posing. They're posing as adherents
and
to this. They're
eventually
actually
they
having.
succumb.
I think that lawful evil people would hate them. That they're like, it's time to dominate, building my perfect machine of tyranny, and then it's like crunch, the thing falls over and falls apart.
Yes.
Like,
yes. I think if you start off as a lawful evil person trying to exploit this faith by posing at it, and you are sucked into it, that changes your alignment. Like you become not lawful. Yeah, you then.
Do we think you can be chaotic good? No, we don't. We don't like good. So it's chaotic evil, chaotic neutral, true neutral, and neutral evil. Do we like that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So divine ability. So we pick 2 abilities that this would relate to.
Crafting.
Oh gosh. That'll be skills. I think that yes, we should do crafting. We pick 2 of those. I think intelligence maybe. Because people are thinking really hard about the stuff that they're doing that's so bad.
Acrobatics?
I like acrobatics. That's also a skill.
Right. I'm just doing
I'm going to put in a word for con.
Or charisma, potentially. Like the
charisma. Yeah, they have to be able to argue with each other really well.
Yeah.
So let's do
or not.
How do we like about intelligence and charisma? Let's do it. Let's do it. Heal font, harm font, or both. This is what's so hard. It's like, well, they probably think it's a heal font, but this is like, did their clerics get extra heal spells or harm spells?
Harm.
Yeah, probably. Harm.
Yeah, because healing would be literally reversing entropy.
Yes, agreed. Well, maybe that's an anathema for them.
Yeah, they can't ever heal or provide succor.
What am I doing here?
I don't know.
I think there's like a double-edged, like it is. Well, anyways, whatever. That gets complicated.
It gets a lot of very complicated
stuff happening.
This is a lot. There's a lot of really terrible things happening right now. God's favorite weapon. How do we feel about weapons, guys? Let's pick a weapon.
Is there something that is like always has a shifting rune on it?
There are modular weapons that can be used in a bunch of different ways. Probably a more complicated thing would be good.
Like a shovel?
A shovel.
You can dig with it. You can bash with it.
There's something called a tricky pick.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Tricky pick.
Which is a kobold pick concealing several traps inside of it.
All right.
I think that feels pretty good. There's something called a big boom gun. I don't know.
Is there anything that's like Swiss Army knife-ish?
Yes, there is a poly tool, which we already chose as one of the gods.
Yeah, we did.
Weapons.
We did. That was the crafter. The crafter.
Litterhard.
Yeah.
All right, tricky pick.
Do you want the tricky pick? Let's do the
fun
tricky
to say.
Tricky pick. You are driving me crazy.
I feel like the truth is that that everyone thinks there's like a different favored weapon, right? With so many of these things, like they aren't actually all going to be using the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a great axe. It's a short bow.
Right. And everyone has like a very firm reason about why they believe that to be so.
Yes. Yeah. So many of these answers being relative, like things feels really right.
Could the answer be any?
I think I like that.
Any simple weapon or any and so
yeah, I like that.
The cleric gets to choose whichever they think is the one true interpretation.
Yes, right.
They all get a bite attack.
And it's blessed by Bunny. Bunny's like, yes, that is the one. And then they're like, they spoke to me. Bunny spoke to me and said that this spoon is the correct weapon.
Yeah.
Okay, what
spoon is
domains of magic? Is there one that's here's one. Decay. Should we do it? You have the power to spoil and deteriorate matter. That seems good.
Correct. Yeah.
Destruction as well.
Yeah, it seems like we'd want to do destruction, but we'd also want to do something about building. I feel like because they're builders, we got to get something in there. Trickery. Maybe. Can we do creation?
Yeah.
That they do both creation and destruction? How do we feel about that?
Yeah.
How about confidence?
I like confidence.
I like confidence also.
Fate potentially, because all things in the end tend to disorder. Yeah.
Okay, so let's do. Let's lose destruction. I feel like decay covers that part of it, kind of in an okay way.
Yeah, destruction is more ordered and intent based in some way.
Yeah. Okay, how do we feel about this collection? Decay, fate, creation, and confidence.
Right.
Okay, let's move on. Alternate domains. This is the worst. I hate this so much. I hate I hate these alternate domains.
Time, maybe?
Time. Okay, good. What spells? We get one level 1 spell.
So would that be the domain spells from these?
No. No, this is just regular ass non-divine spells is what we're looking for. And we need to come up with 3. One of level 1 and one of higher. And I don't want to do the cop-out of everyone gets to pick their own spell, because we've already done that. And I don't want to just do that. Yeah. Because then everyone's going to worship this god. Oh, maybe that's the whole point. God damn it.
Counterpoint.
Okay. Befuddle or charm, maybe?
Befuddle. Do we like befuddle? What if I spell befuddle correctly? Befuddle. You sow seeds of confusion in your target's mind, causing their actions and thoughts to become clumsy.
What about telekinetic projectile? Because I feel like you can use that to like build things or tear things apart.
That's a cantrip. We don't need to pick one, but I love that idea. I'm right there with you. But we need slotted spells, not cantrips. Sorry.
This game has
a lot of
too
stuff.
Many spells.
Too many spells. This game was designed by Bunny. It's a thing that people don't know.
I'm sure that's heresy. I don't mean it. I'm being hyperbolic. Don't at me.
Don't at me. Don't at David. Please.
Don't at David.
Leave him alone.
No.
I like befuddle a lot. I think befuddle is great. How about, I love this. And this is one of my favorite spells in the game, actually. Deja vu. You loop a thought process in the target's mind, forcing it to repeat the same actions over and over again. Do we like that? Sounds like maybe we like it.
Sure.
Yeah.
I like the idea that for this group, if you are a bunny worshiper, sometimes they think they're doing the same action, but it's actually a different one. But that's just a meta gameplay. Like the spell is slightly different for these followers.
Yeah. Right. You think you're making progress.
Right.
But you're not.
You're not.
you're yeah. Okay. We just need one more. That's all we need.
Implement of destruction. A single weapon fills an enemy's mind with existential dread.
Dismantle?
Ooh,
yeah,
now you're talking.
It's a level 2 spell.
Yeah, what does it do? You touch an object and immediately disassembles itself into its component pieces.
That is so great.
Yeah.
The object gains the broken condition.
So you just walk around touching stuff and it immediately
all the better to turn it into the heap.
Decays.
And then it rebuilds and then it rebuilds itself at the end.
Leaving little heaps behind you as you go.
This is great. Is there anything else? Did we do it? Are we done? Have we made this happen? Have we finished the thing? Maybe we have, perhaps. Confusion? Is confusion, are we screwing things up by not doing the confusion spell?
Oh, I mean, that definitely makes sense.
You befuddle your target with strange impulses, causing it to, this is a level 4 spell, it's a higher level spell, causing it to act randomly. The effects are determined by the target's will save. You can either, they babble incoherently and are stunned, they're confused for a minute, or they're confused.
You could do slow, potentially, as like their actions are being eroded.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Let's do that. Let's do befuddle. Let's just do all of it, right? Let's just go for it. Cool.
People
we did it.
Pick their own.
Yep, guys, we did it. I'm not going to run through it. Everybody's seen this already. Let's end this show. We did it. I've spent enough time in the land of confusion, to quote the great Phil Collins. And now it's time to say goodbye. Everybody, what have we done today? We have created Bunny, whose name is actually Bonieftia Antioch. Maybe we should just let's just run through this thing real quick. Okay, we're doing it. Okay, what did we do? Who wants to start? Armat, you start. What did we do?
We created the god Bonieftia Antioch. The great futility, futiler yet, the endless decline, aka Bunny.
Okay, and what does Bunny look like? Zoe.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Bunny is a mirror-scaled hydra who has an ever-changing and much disputed number of also ever-changing heads that can be animals, people, you name it. And they are all constantly bickering among each other.
Okay. Various, I think that we need to, this needs to be clearer that they hate each other. I feel like that's the biggest thing. Let's move on. Hey, David, will you tell us about the heap, please? Sorry, I just ruined our stream.
Okay, there we go.
I don't know. We
Yes,
got a lot
the heap.
here.
We have a doctoral thesis on the heap already.
When Bunny originally appeared unto the people, Bunny gave each of a group of people a vision of what exactly they needed to do in order to fulfill the divine order and the divine purpose, but gave each of those original adherents a different vision. They all then began trying to achieve their separate and fragmented ends at once, resulting in a physical area beset by overlapping and therefore destroyed construction projects, which entraps everyone who comes
so
into
bad.
it, turning them into more builders and therefore increasing its generative and terrifying power.
That's right. They're worshipped at places such as areas of urban mismanagement, any place where industry or endeavor can be corrupted or corroded. Abandoned places. Armat, who follows them?
Anyone can be co-opted to worship Bunny, the grim, the inevitable.
And what do they wear, Zoe?
Fragile or sort of falling apart clothing, maybe things they've sewn together in a kind of Frankenstein garb.
Miss Havisham.
Yeah, like sort of abandoned palace vibes. And many followers wear a necklace or pendant with what they claim to be one of Bunny's mirrored scales, but it rarely is.
I'm going to add a thing here of temples. I'm going to say like palaces of fallen kingdoms.
Mm.
I feel like that seems like that would be part of it.
Yeah. Totally right.
What do they say, David?
They say this is Bunny's commandment. I act on the will of the great Bunny.
Okay, good. And then we got all this mechanical stuff. There we go. We did it, friends. Now we've done it. Now we did it.
We've done it. A beautiful, horrible thing.
Yeah, we really ruined everything, didn't we? Great. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in and watching our show. That has been GODMAKER, episode 6. We now have 6 of the best gods you ever saw in a tabletop role-playing game setting. SOO Hatu is in our chat, contemplating whether or not he should worship Bunny, and I think that's a terrible idea. Don't do it.
Not if you can help it.
If you're seeing us on Twitch, I'd really appreciate it if you could follow us here. And if you're seeing this on YouTube, why not do the thing that they always say? Leave a comment and leave us the thumbs up thing or whatever, and do the whole YouTube thing. Why not, right? Everybody, thank you so much. Armat, thank you. Zoe, thank you. David, thank you. And thank
Lars,
you.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you to everybody at home who hung out with us as we ruined our evening. We will see you some other time. And that's it, because it's Bunny's will. Right?
This is the way.
This is the way. No, that's offensive to... Okay, yes. Okay.
All things are inevitable.
Yes. Goodbye.